All right, and that's not the only going away.
Yeah, interesting news here. I think we're going to transition to
your homeboy DDL.
Yeah, DDL, Daniel Day-Lewis. For those living under a rock, he is the actor from There Will Be Blood, In the Name of the Father, My Left Foot, Lincoln. Yeah, those are just 3 of the 4 movies he won the Academy Award. He's the only actor to ever win the Academy Award for Best Actor 3 times.
Anywhere you find a waxed mustache, you find Daniel Day-Lewis.
Basically, Robert Downey Jr.'s character from Tropic Thunder at the beginning, when he's like Kirk Lazarus. Kirk Lazarus, I think, is very loosely based on Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, definitely,
being, like,
absolutely.
Prestige actor, you know what I mean?
Or Christian Bale.
But he's not stuffy like that, you know what I mean? You think he's like kind of this stuffy like artiste that is like not really approachable. Like I always pictured and thought of Daniel Day-Lewis as like the Stanley Kubrick of actors, and that he worked once every few years, very, very selective, and when he did, it was always a big deal. And the reason we're bringing him up is he said he's going to retire officially from acting after his newest picture with Paul Thomas Anderson, something loosely based on 50s fashion.
See, I wonder. Well, first of all, like he can never do something that's not a period piece, can he?
No,
it's
probably
his
not.
Thing.
Yeah.
Let him have his thing.
I mean, he just likes those hairstyles.
Well, he likes
pomade.
Well,
that's what he's feeling.
Well, the thing is, I think one of the reasons he may be retiring is it's like his style is kind of really not suited for today's Hollywood, because he's more like intense character studies and like really
intense. I've abandoned my boy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, not intense at all.
So these prestige pictures, and now where everything today has to be a sequel, it has to be a comic book, it has to be something that big and blows up. That's not really what he does. You know what I mean? He's turned down so many pictures like this. He works like once every 5 or 6 years. You know what I mean? He'll select
he just
something.
Space it out pretty well. He's not oversaturated in the media, but he still pops up every now and then. Hey, I'm here to take that Oscar.
Yeah,
I'll catch you all. You know,
he agrees to sign on to a movie and do all the press that comes with.
But he's not really out and about aside from that. Yeah,
but he disappears, like literally, but not like disappears, like secludes himself. He just goes back to like Ireland and sits there. And I think he was working as a cobbler. You know what I mean? He was doing
a pipe and a mug in peace.
Yeah, he was like he would go to the same pub by himself and like drink and stuff. And I'm
sorry. Back up. I thought I heard that, but you said a cobbler.
Yeah.
Shoemaker.
Yes.
Like
that's what he was doing. Yeah.
I did not realize that was still a thing.
Oh yeah, that's definitely still a thing. But I have friends that are cobblers.
It's a very.
They're not Daniel Day-Lewis, but you know.
It's a skilled trade. You know what I mean? It's very.
What do you do when you're on vacation? I'm a world-renowned actor.
Now I'm a cobbler. Yeah. But yeah, he's retiring, and I think that's just a huge blow for people that are really into, because his movies are so good, and not just maybe it's not the movies that are good, like he is so good in them that he can take like an average picture and make it something spectacular. You know what I mean? Like I don't like all of his movies, but like every performance is fantastic. And like The Last of the Mohicans isn't my favorite movie by a long shot, but he is so good in it. You know what I mean? Even My Left Foot, I don't really like it as a movie, but he's so good in it.
I never saw My Left Foot. All I know of My Left Foot is that Futurama parody.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes.
This one's bigger than.
But he's the pinnacle of acting. He's like the top of the mountain, and
he's up there. It's like a white Denzel.
Yeah, well, he had the white Denzel thing going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see it?
Sure.
Well, okay. Think back to like
he works far less.
Think back to vintage Daniel.
And he's never a cop.
Vintage
he's
Denzel,
never a cop.
More like true, but more like
his eyebrows are way too angry to be a cop.
I'm talking more like Denzel and Glory. You
know,
like I could see Daniel Day-Lewis.
Great movie.
It is. I saw it at the wrong time because I was I think I was a freshman in high school. They showed us that.
Yeah,
and I was not prepared to see someone's head blow up.
That's also when I saw that movie.
But yeah, this dude had that one scene. He had that tear. Daniel Day-Lewis,
the single tear running down the eye. Yeah, absolutely.
And he did Lincoln with the proper voice because everyone thinks Abe Lincoln talked like this, and his voice was deep because he had that beard and he was 18 feet tall. But in actuality,
has that hatchet walk, yeah.
Yeah.
But he disappears into these roles, and that's what I think he's probably most known for is that he's a method actor, and he takes the method extremely far, where he literally, like, on set of Lincoln, they would refer to him as Mr. President, even in between takes. And in between takes,
I heard about that. I thought that was just a rumor.
No, that's absolutely true. It's confirmed by everyone that's worked with him. Steven Spielberg said as much.
Steven Spielberg is calling him Mr. President.
And so,
I love that.
and Last of the Mohicans, he spent, I think it was like 6 weeks out in the woods by himself. You know what I mean? Doing that.
No, I know we're trying to
Gangs
honor
in New
him,
York.
but that is such... Okay, better. Thank you.
Yeah, Gangs in New York. He would glare.
He's so good in Gangs in New York.
Yeah,
that movie is unbelievable.
And his voice in that movie.
Oh, I know.
It's just so perfect. And I think, and
now I got to rewatch that.
Yeah,
actually,
and he said as much. Where it's like, once he commits himself that much to a role and is like disappears in that much, he says once the movie ends, he gets a little depressed because he's like, he can't believe that it's over.
What do you do
that
now?
That experience is like done, and it's kind of this overwhelming like post-film depression.
How long does it take to make a movie, though? He's got a nice solid backlog of shoes and people pissed off waiting.
That's could be it.
Back in Ireland.
Yeah, something to fall back on. But yeah, it's probably a little hard to go back to normal once you commit that much to your art. And so it's you can understand that a guy.
Wait, so with all that, why is he retiring?
That's the question, man.
We can't get into his head, but he may just feel like he's not challenged anymore. A lot of actors retire when they feel that they're not challenged by these roles anymore, that they don't feel fulfilled in acting. He didn't say that he's, screwing off forever. We may see him again as a director, producer, a writer. We don't know.
True. Yeah.
I expect maybe he does feel like fulfilled with the roles he already played.
Yeah.
It could be. The thing is,
I think he's just at that moment where I've done all the big roles or the major roles. I've left my
I would
impression.
not be surprised. I would be completely not surprised if we saw him a couple years from now, coming back as a director.
Yeah. Well, he's
or on Dancing with the Stars.
I personally think...
Yes, or on Dancing with the Stars, which I think he would do quite excellent on.
I personally think we'll never see him again. That's
really?
He's off making shoes.
No, honestly, I think of this guy when he says he's like, I'm doing it, and I think he had a press release saying he's like, I'm retiring, and it's a personal decision. That's all I'm going to say about it. He's not going to mention it ever again. And I honestly think that maybe he's just done. Maybe he feels like he has done enough, and then he probably just wants to live a quiet life alone with his wife. His wife, of course, is Rebecca Miller, and she directed him in The Ballad of Jack and Rose, a movie he did. And I guess the method to getting into that, he was like kind of secluding himself, because that movie's about like a man raising his daughter in complete seclusion, then him like trying to come up with a way to, because his daughter obviously never really has human contact other than him. Like, what does he do with her after he passes? And that's kind of the question of the movie. But, she's an artist. I'm sure she'll continue to make stuff. And who knows if we've seen the last of him. I really hope not. But, like, it's my theory that if this guy's saying he's done, he's done. There's no reason that he's ever done anything that would give me reason to believe that he'd be lying. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to do, like, I'm retired, and then, like, 2 years later you see him in, like,
that kind of brings me down, because he's one of the few actors where it's just, like, anything he puts out, you don't automatically think, it's a cash grab or something they're trying to, capitalize on a franchise.
It's for his art, yeah.
Yeah.
And you run to the movie theaters to see his movies. At least I know I do.
It makes art films that actually have some prestige and aren't just like, some film student whacking off on screen there.
Right. And so, like, I'm glad his last movie's with Paul Thomas Anderson, though. That's my favorite American film director.
You would want to see W.S. Anderson?
yeah, the Mortal Kombat 3.
That'd be awesome, right?
Yeah, that'd be good. He plays Sub-Zero.
Or, hey, I was going to say Wes Anderson. I hate Wes Anderson. Let me not do that.
I don't think their styles would go together. I don't think.
Although that would be really amusing to think about.
That would be something.
Just picture him trying to like deadpan his way through a Wes Anderson movie.
Or
just that camera just stuck there. He walks into the middle of the frame, walks off. Yeah.
A really long stare, and all you do is they zoom in on the wax mustache. Just watch him stroke it a little.
He does look like a Wes Anderson.
I mean, I'm really here for those.
Oh no, let's not encourage people. He'll be like, you know what? Maybe I'll do a Netflix thing.
No, but him and his acting, man, this guy is above and beyond, and he's so believable in everything he does. In the Name of the Father is one of my personal favorite movies.
Excellent.
It's so good, and I remember him talking about doing that movie because he plays Jerry Conlon, a guy wrongfully convicted of a crime in Ireland as being linked to the IRA, this explosion. And he gets out years later, but after his father was locked up as well, and his father passed away in prison. But he had to spend, I think he said he spent however many days locked up. he went to prison and was locked up, and he was like personally interrogated and kept without sleep, just so he could get in mind what would make somebody admit to a crime they didn't commit. And he's like, well, I felt it all too well. I believed why he would do it after experiencing what he probably experienced when at this time in Ireland, they could keep somebody suspected of terrorism without reason. They could keep you there for as long as you wanted, and they did. And they basically got this confession out of him that was bogus based on them, interrogating him so intensely that he would admit to his own this crime that he didn't commit. And so he put himself through that.
He seeks out these roles. He takes on. No one told him to go to jail, I imagine.
Right? No, and he said this is curiosity.
Okay,
He's
so
such a curious guy.
Mr. Clooney, we've hired you for this movie. We're gonna beat your ass for 4 solid days.
How does that sound to anybody? Yeah. I can imagine like what's the Family Guy joke of Ben Affleck? He's like, oh, I got to do a British guy today. Hello. Okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? That's the approach to acting today that I picture. And then this guy, like I said, is just not cut out for this style of Hollywood that we're living in today. So maybe he's like, I've done enough. I worked with the best directors. I've won the awards.
Well, dude, maybe that's for the best. Think of how many folks in Hollywood, actors, actresses, etc., that pretty much don't know when to call it.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons I respect Jerry Seinfeld's ethic is because he realized, the show's going well, but eventually it's going to fall off. Yeah. Let's go out, gracefully on a high note.
Sure.
And I think that, and it does seem to me after hearing you break it down that that's what.
Yeah,
likely what.
That's what I mean. I don't know. I disagree.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to alliterate that either. I don't mean to cut you off. What Daniel Day is doing there?
I disagree that he's fading into the obscurity forever. I think we will see more of him in a different capacity. I hope I'm right too, because book tour. He's gonna write a little autobiography, maybe some survey of prison food.
Who knows? Length of like 3 Bibles.
Yeah. Who knows, man? I really, if you
wait. I'm sorry. Did you say prison cookbook?
She said.
I said prison cookbook.
Oh, jeez.
I said prison cookbook.
Shame on you. I'm missing them left and right. I'm sorry, Adam. I cut you off.
No. Like I was just responding to Amy. I really hope you're right. I really hope he comes back in whatever capacity he chooses, whether it's directing, producing, just taking, like I said, his curiosity that leads him into these really, really deep kind of rabbit holes of artistic expression. I really hope we get that in some way, if it's just not in front of the camera as an actor.
I'd like to see him do like a Tim Schafer thing. Tim Schafer was a game designer. He made the Adventure Island series.
Okay.
Yep.
I almost said
no, it's a very different series.
Yes, it is. But what he did was he kind of retired, and then he did a Kickstarter to get his own project done. So not dealing with any additional producers or anyone else's vision, just his own opus.
Yeah.
He did a Kickstarter and it held a record for like one of the quickest funded Kickstarters.
Really?
And going far above its goal. I think Daniel Day could do something like this.
Good.
And maybe whatever movie he's wanted to do and never was able to do.
Yeah.
He can actually get done as like his final, his curtain call, his bow there.
I'm just thinking like all the things he's turned down. You know what I mean? After like I said,
man.
He's taking a break.
Ghostbusters 3.
Taking these giant 5, 6, 7 year breaks in between films. You know what I mean? Like what makes him choose what he does, and he works with the top guys. Like I said, if you're not excited about this new Paul Thomas Anderson movie with Daniel Day-Lewis then you have to be now. You have to be now. Like this is gonna be a major movie. So I'm really excited. At the same time, I'll watch it with a heavy heart, knowing that this could be the last time we see him. So yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis' last movie is.
I don't know the name of it. I don't know. I would just call it an untitled. Paul Thomas Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yes.
All right. Keep that in mind. And I want to turn it over to just Johnny over there, who's, I don't know, man. You've been pretty solid.